Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, food banks are scrambling to feed millions. We'll have the latest on the SNAP funding situation. Plus, open enrollment is here, but are you ready for health care premiums that could more than double? We'll have the details.
And we had a quiet start to the work week, but all good things must come to an end. Find out when, coming up.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Earlier today, a judge ruled that the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP funding, will be partially funded. This follows judges' rulings requiring the government to keep the program running. The USDA had planned to freeze payments due to the government shutdown. The program serves about 1 in 8 Americans. Benefits will be delayed in November, and the amount recipients get will still be reduced. Now, loading benefit cards can take up to 2 weeks. Meanwhile, states and food banks have been scrambling to help nearly 42 million Americans. WYMT's Amelia Lee spoke with local officials who are trying to make sure folks are fed.
Folks throughout the Commonwealth are bracing for impact after funding for SNAP benefits were suspended on November 1st.
They don't care about the politics of it. They're just hungry, and this is a failure. We're not a third world country, and we'll never be as long as you have people that truly care about these values. And I think that's what's happening here.
Last week, Governor Andy Beshear signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency surrounding this food crisis here in Kentucky. Now, $5 million from the Budget Reserve Trust Fund is going to be moved to feeding Kentucky food banks.
Here's how it comes into the system. It will not come onto your card. We weren't sure of how he had planned on getting this out there. It's going to come to the food banks. And we've made sacrifices to get to that rainy day fund. So that's where the governor's getting this money from. We're giving him some discretion to use it.
But in Perry County, local leaders have a plan. Now working to set up community support centers where families can pick up food boxes and fresh produce.
We're going to try to partner with local groups that already are doing the food box drives and stuff here every week that know what they're doing.
The key word, resiliency, as Eastern Kentuckians continue to face ongoing challenges.
This community has rose to that occasion time and time again, and they're going to rise to this occasion and partner and help those families that need it as well.
Saying when times get tough, Perry County comes together. In Hazard, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
Judge Executive Scott Alexander says regardless of the government shutdown, they will still help folks out, adding the fiscal court will share locations, pickup times, and how people can help as soon as possible. Well, not a bad weather start to the work week. Tomorrow looks pleasant too. Meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Not a bad start to the work week. Temperatures today were in the 50s and 60s. That trend will continue as we go into tomorrow as well. Plenty of sunshine there. Let's check in with our folks up there in Knott County over near the Hindman area. You can see that beautiful fall foliage on the Mesonet camera there. Here's the satellite radar. We'll see a weak front push through as we go into the day on Tuesday. It's going to drop the temperatures a little bit. Still not bad. We're talking low 60s. High pressure, our nice fair weather friend, is large and in charge right now. Temperatures right now in the upper 40s and low 50s. 50s from Grundy to Monticello, from Moorhead down to Jacksboro. 40s in the upper elevations. Wise right now at 46 degrees. So if you have plans tonight, clear skies, not a bad evening. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the mid-30s will greet you. We'll see the temperatures go up, then go down, then go up, then go down. Typical November weather. We'll talk about that coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you. The defense team in a Floyd County murder case does not want the trial to be delayed. M.K. McKinney is supposed to go on trial next month for the 2023 murder of Amber Spradlin. McKinney's father, Dr. Michael McKinney, and another man, Josh Mullins, are also charged in the case. State prosecutors want to delay the trial so more evidence can get DNA analysis. McKinney's attorney says there's no need for a delay because prosecutors previously said they have enough evidence against the suspects. A judge is expected to decide on the issue during a hearing on Thursday. In Madison County, the sheriff's office is investigating multiple cases of needles found in Halloween candy. These needles were found in the area off Highway 1016 in Berea. In Richmond, there were also needles found by a family who says they trick-or-treated in the Boone Way, Derby Chase, and Saratoga Circle neighborhoods. Officials with the sheriff's office are urging parents and guardians to check any candy their kids picked up this weekend. If you know anything about where these needles came from, deputies want to hear from you. Also in Madison County, the jailer is responding to a recently filed wrongful death lawsuit. The family of Jonathan Mansfield says he died after being tased 40 times while in jail. The lawsuit says Mansfield died on October 10, 2024. He had been arrested 2 weeks prior on a public intoxication charge. The lawsuit names the former jailer and jail employees. Current jailer Larry Brock was named to the role after former jailer Steve Tussey announced his resignation in December 2024. Since taking over, Brock says the detention center has, quote, made significant strides forward in the operation of the detention center and the care of inmates, end quote. This week, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments about the legality of President Trump's tariff policies. The case will consider whether the president had the legal authority to impose tariffs by using a law known as the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That law gives the president the ability to set tariffs in a national emergency. American businesses have paid nearly $90 billion to cover the tariffs being challenged. Open enrollment through the Affordable Health Care Act has begun, but Americans may be shocked by the prices for 2026. Insurers are charging a lot more, and that number could skyrocket for low-income families if lawmakers do not extend federal subsidies that cut their costs. KFF, a nonprofit focused on health policy, recently looked at monthly costs for health care coverage and found insurers are raising premiums nearly 26% next year. But if you take away subsidies on top of the increases, the costs will be even higher.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double. That's a 114% increase.
KFF says average monthly premium costs could go from $800 to as much as $1,900 in 2026. The federal tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year. A Listeria outbreak linked to Nate's Fine Foods ready-to-eat pasta salads and prepared meals has grown. 2 more people have died and more people have gotten sick. The outbreak made 27 people sick across 18 states and 6 people total have died. They were sold at major grocery chains across the country, including Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Farmers Market, Kroger, and Walmart. So far, there's been no cases in Tennessee and Kentucky. A top drug regulator at the Food and Drug Administration has stepped down. Officials said George Tidmarsh submitted his resignation over the weekend after being placed on administrative leave Friday. Tidmarsh reportedly posted a critical comment about a new drug made by a Canadian pharmaceutical company. According to the since-deleted post, Tidmarsh said the new drug had significant toxicity. The company filed a lawsuit Sunday accusing Tidmarsh of making false statements and soliciting a bribe. The Food and Drug Administration is taking action to restrict the use of prescription fluoride supplements. The FDA's move follows a directive from the government's Make America Healthy Again Commission to assess the risks and benefits of the products. The FDA now says kids under 3 years old and older kids at low or moderate risk for tooth decay should avoid taking fluoride products like drops or tablets. Flags across the Commonwealth are flying at half-staff in honor of Kentucky's only woman governor. Governor Andy Beshear ordered flags lowered after the death of former Governor Martha Lane Collins. Collins served as Kentucky's 56th governor from 1983 to 1987 and was lieutenant governor before that. She was 88 years old. Governor Beshear called her a powerhouse, crediting her with helping bring Toyota to Kentucky and laying the foundation for future growth. Flags will remain at half-staff until sunset on the day of her interment. We'll have more on Martha Lane Collins coming up in our next half hour, too. Coming up here on Mountain News at 5:30, folks in one eastern Kentucky county no longer have to cross county lines for eye care.
And in the world of weather, all is quiet now, but we're keeping an eye on a system that could impact us next week. Details coming up.